Hey there, let's talk about stress. We all feel it, we all know what it is. Or do we? What if the way we've been thinking about it is all wrong? In this explainer, we're going to look at a totally different way to approach it. Not just coping with stress, but actually dissolving it right at the source, so we can find our way back to a real state of inner balance.
Okay, let's just jump right in with something that might challenge, well, everything you believe about stress. Here it is. Stress is not a natural part of life. The source material for this says that life itself, well, it just flows. Stress only shows up when we lose our balance on the inside. It's not some big bad external force. It's an internal condition. And this slide really frames the whole conversation as a choice. On one side, you've got stress. What is it? It's reacting to life. You know, that automatic knee-jerk, unconscious tightening up that we all do. But on the other side, you've got balance. And that's about responding, making a conscious, mindful, and considered choice about how you engage with whatever life throws your way.
So, how do we get from reacting to responding? Well, the path forward is all about getting a handle on 4 key areas of our inner world: our mind, our emotions, our energy, and our physical body. And as we go through this, you're going to see how getting skilled in each of these areas makes that feeling of stress just kind of dissolve. First up, we've got to start at the source, right? The very root where all stress begins, the mind. This is the command center. It's where our entire experience of the world is generated. And this just illustrates the point so perfectly. I mean, think about it. A deadline at work can totally energize one person and completely paralyze another. The deadline itself, it's neutral. The stress isn't in the deadline, it's in our interpretation, in the story we tell ourselves about it. When your mind is already restless, even the tiniest little thing can feel like this huge, insurmountable weight. So the key here is to learn how to create space, even just a tiny bit, between a thought and your reaction to it. The process is super simple. A stressful thought pops into your head. Instead of just immediately reacting, you intentionally pause and you take a single conscious breath. In that tiny little space, you get your power back. You get to choose your response instead of being hijacked by your reaction. That one breath, it's the difference between stress and clarity. Okay, let's move on to the next layer and see how this all connects. Because once a thought takes root in the mind, it almost always creates an emotional response, which we then feel, directly in our bodies. This is such a powerful metaphor. Emotions aren't meant to stick around forever. They're just like waves in the ocean. They swell up, they crest, and then they recede. The problem never comes from feeling the emotion. It comes from trying to stop the wave. And here you can see the direct consequences of that. When we suppress or ignore these waves, they don't just disappear. Oh no, they get stuck. Unfelt sadness turns into that lingering heaviness you feel in your chest. Resisted anger shows up as actual physical tension in your shoulders and your jaw. And that fear you try to push away, it morphs into that constant buzzing hum of anxiety. You know, this completely reframes what we think of as strength. True strength isn't about being cold or emotionless. It's about being a stable container, having the ability to feel an emotion fully, to let that wave pass right through you without getting totally swept away by it. And our body, it keeps the score. Every single worry, every suppressed emotion, it leaves a physical mark. That tightness in your shoulders, the way your breath gets shallow, that's your body literally holding on to unresolved stress. But the good news? The release can be simple. Movement. Just a simple stretch or short walk can start to dissolve those physical marks and get things flowing again.
All right, let's go one level deeper now. We're going to talk about something a little more subtle, but believe me, it is incredibly powerful. Let's talk about the energy that fuels our entire system.
You can't see this energy, but you know exactly what it feels like. You've felt scattered and restless. You've felt blocked and heavy. And you've definitely felt clear, vibrant, and totally alive. That feeling you have right now, that is a direct reflection of your inner energy state. So how do we manage it? The tool is beautifully simple, and it's always with you. Your breath. A slow, full inhale, followed by a slow, complete exhale. That is the most direct way to calm your entire nervous system and rebalance your energy. It is your anchor in any storm.
And now we get to the final piece. This is the element that integrates everything we've been talking about. The source material calls this the master key, awareness.
See, stress thrives when we have a narrow, zoomed-in perspective, where the current problem feels like everything. Awareness is the ability to zoom out. It's that quiet voice that reminds you, hey, this is just a situation. This is a moment, it will pass. This shift in perspective it's incredibly powerful. Asking yourself this very question is a practical way to turn on that awareness. It's like climbing a mountain to get out of a dense forest. From up high, you can see the whole landscape. That path you were stuck on suddenly looks so much smaller, and the way forward becomes clear. From that height, stress just loses its grip. And this brings us to the ultimate reframe. Stress isn't something to be fought or defeated. It's not your enemy. It is a signal from your inner world, kind of like a dashboard light in your car. It's simply telling you that something is out of alignment, your mind, emotions, body, or energy, and it needs your gentle attention.
So let's bring it all together. The path to inner balance is actually pretty clear. It starts with managing your mind to stop stress right where it begins. Then you release emotions so they don't weigh you down. You care for your body to dissolve that tension, and you guide your energy with your breath. And finally, you use awareness as that master key to keep your perspective and find clarity.
And this is why all of this matters so much. This isn't just about feeling a little less tense at the end of the day. It's about reclaiming the natural state of your life, one that's defined not by struggle, but by a sense of balance, flow, and true inner freedom. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Just take a moment right now. If that feeling of stress you have is simply a signal, just a message asking for your attention, what is it trying to tell you? What needs to be realigned? The answer to that question, that's the beginning of your path back to balance.